Good Saturday morning, everybody. Glad to have you here this morning. If you will, like, share, comment on the post. And then if you want to follow along, Genesis chapter number 31, beginning in verse 4. I'm not going to read this today. We're going to cover a large passage from verse 4 down to verse 18. Jacob is now going to have to deal with an issue. And the issue is not the thing. We all could face this. This is kind of almost a man's lesson today, as we see Jacob having to lead his family, having to be the spiritual guide in his own home. And to complicate matters, because it seems like nothing's easy, he's going to have to get in between his wives and his father-in-law, because he's going to go to his wives and talk to them and say, listen, it's time for us to move. It's time for us to leave. And so Jacob takes his wives and he goes off somewhere alone so he can explain to them the situation, and maybe he was showing some wisdom here as well, so that if they started screaming and yelling and they got angry, it wouldn't be in front of everybody. So he calls them out to the fields where he is working, and he just simply begins to share his heart. And here's basically to summarize what he's going to say in these verses. Your father he's different. He's changed his opinion of me. He's suspicious of me. He refuses to recognize all the work that I'm doing around here. He has been beating me out of my pay. He's not hurt me physically, but he has stolen money from me. He's not paying me what I am due. And then ultimately your father has lied to me, and has not done what he had said that he would do. He's been less than honest in his dealing with me. And so he says we need to leave. We need to get out of this place. And what we see here is the difficult task of following God. Jacob's having to step up and lead here in his home, and he's basically asking his wives to choose between him and their father. And so you don't have to be a family therapist. You don't have to be an expert in family dynamics to know that's a dangerous place to be. But Jacob is being the leader in his home. I have discovered, I'm no expert at it, don't get that in your head that that's what I'm saying, but in trying to lead your home, your family, in the way that God would have you to go, especially in this world and in this culture. You may not ever find yourself in quite this predicament of being between your in-laws and your spouse, but you will most likely, if you're trying to lead in a godly path, you're going to find some kind of resistance. You're going to find some kind of abuse. I just heard an older preacher just this week preaching about when his children were growing up, some of the battles that they had in their home when his daughter would want to go be involved in things, go places, do things, and he said a lot of times it was more my wife than me, but he said there was some real battles, some real conflict in our home as we said to our daughter, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're not going to do those things in this house. We're Christians. We live for Jesus in this house. Therefore, you're not going there. You're not doing that. You're not being part of that. And there was some real tension there. and it's difficult, and more difficult perhaps than it's ever been.